Hi everyone, welcome to this channel zoologybio.
In this video, I'm talking about the carbohydrates, introduction, nomenclature, definition, and classification in details. So please watch until the last. So let's start with the carbohydrates introduction. The carbohydrates, often termed as sugars, are the stuff of life for most organisms. On the basis of mass, they are the most abundant class of biomolecules in nature. Carbohydrates are also known as saccharides. Greek word saccharon, that means sugar or sweetness, since many of those relatively small molecular weight have a sweet taste. Although this is not true of those with large molecules. They are widely distributed molecules, Latin moles, that means mass, in both plant and animal tissues. They are indispensable for living organisms, serving as skeletal structures in plants and also in insects and crustaceans. They also occur as food reservoirs in the storage organs of plants and in the liver and muscles of animals. In addition, they are an important source of energy required for the various metabolic activities of the living organisms, the energy being derived as a result of their oxidation. They also serve to lubricate skeletal joints, to provide adhesion between cells and to confer biological specificity on the surface of animal cells. Now, the nomenclature and definition of carbohydrates. The term carbohydrate was originally coined for this class of compounds, as most of them were hydrates of carbon or could be represented by the general formula CxH2OY. Later, it was found that some of them, such as deoxyribose C5H10O4 and rhamnose C6H12O5, do not have the required ratio of hydrogen to oxygen. In addition, certain other carbohydrates are now known to possess nitrogen. Like some example, glucosamine C6H13O5N, phosphorus or sulfur also, and obviously do not coincide with the above general formula. Furthermore, formaldehyde HCHO, in total CH2O, acetic acid CH3COOH, and lactic acid CH3CHOH COOH are in totally C3H6O3, which have C, H and O, that means carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is also the same as in water, but are not carbohydrates. Hence the continued usage of the term carbohydrate is for convenience rather than exactness. Now the definition of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are defined chemically as aldehyde or ketone derivatives of the higher polyhydric alcohols or compounds, which yield these derivatives on hydrolysis. Now the classification of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are usually classified into the three groups. The first one is monosaccharide or monosaccharides. It derives from Greek word mono, that means one, and Greek word saccharon, that means sugar. The monosaccharides, often called simple sugars, are compounds which possesses a free aldehyde, that means CHO, or ketone, that means double bond CO group, and two or more hydroxyl single bond OH groups. They are in fact the simplest sugars and cannot be hydrolyzed into smaller units. This general formula is CnH2ON or CnH2nON. The monosaccharides may be subdivided into trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses, heptoses, etc., depending upon the number of carbon atoms they possess, and as aldoses or ketoses, depending upon whether they contain aldehyde or ketone group. Now the second group of carbohydrate is oligosaccharides or oligosaccharides. It derives from Greek word oligo, that means few. These are compound sugars that yield 2 to 10 molecules of the same or different monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Accordingly, an oligosaccharide yielding 2 molecules of monosaccharide on hydrolysis is designated as a disaccharide, and the one yielding 3 molecules of monosaccharide as a trisaccharide, and so on. The general formula of disaccharides is CnH2ON-1 and that of trisaccharides is CnH2ON-2 and so on. A few examples are disaccharides: sucrose, lactose, maltose, cellulose, trehalose, gentivobiose, melibiose. And the trisaccharides are raminose, gentianose, raffinose, that means maltose, rabinose, melagitose. And tetrasaccharides are stacose, scorodose, and the pentasaccharides are barbascose. And now the last or third group of carbohydrates is polysaccharides or polysaccharides. It derives from the Greek word poly, that means many. These are also compound sugars and yield more than 10 molecules of monosaccharides on hydrolysis. These may be further classified depending on whether the monosaccharide molecules produced as a result of the hydrolysis of polysaccharides are of the same type, homopolysaccharides, or of different types, heteropolysaccharides. This general formula is C6H10O5X. Some common examples are homopolysaccharides: starch, glycogen, inutilin, cellulose, pectin, chitin, etc. The heteropolysaccharides are specific soluble sugar or pneumococcus type 3, hyaluronic acid, chondroitin, etc.
And that's all for today. If you like this video, hit the like button and share this video as much as possible. To get more videos related to this topic, subscribe this channel. Thanks for watching this video.